All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Triathlon Victoria Club Race Series, the race that stops the nation. No, it won't. It will stop Victoria this morning. This, of course, is race 6. Welcome to your race day. This is Pete Murray, Ironman commentator. We got a stable of stars joining the commentating team, and we're going to introduce them in a minute. But we are racing the final race. This is the race for club glory. Compete as a team. It's club against club, and it's for the championship trophy. We've raced in London. We've raced in New York, Yorkshire, Watopia, Richmond, all on the Swift. And today we head to the most famous finish line in the world of cycling, downtown France. And talking about world cycling, we've got pro cyclist, pro triathlete, of course, an unbelievable man. I love the way this man races. I love the way he talks it up and backs it up. He's an Ironman champion multiple times, top 10 in Kona, professional cyclist. He's all the way from the east coast of the United States. Good morning, Cameron Worth. G'day, buddy.
Good morning, Pete. Thanks. You make me blush. You make me blush every time you have an intro or talk about me crossing a finish line. It really, you really make me feel a lot taller than the 6 foot that I am. So thanks once again, and great to join you all.
Mate, great to have you on board. Today's a big day for the Victorians, Cam. It's, we're both New South Wales, man, but we love Victoria, and today they're racing for the 6th race of this Swift series, thanks to Tri Victoria, the club race series. It's going to be exciting, mate. Short, fast, furious racing.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. We love Victoria like a fart in an elevator, and I can't wait to see what they've got in store. I mean, it'd be great to have a state cup. Maybe that could be the next thing that we have coming up. But it'll be good to see the best that Victoria's got to offer. It'd be great to see that today. It's going to be
some famous names on the start line as well. And we're going to go through that in a moment. But it's also great to welcome on the commentating team. She's a professional triathlete. She's the Tri-Australia Swift Run and Ride leader, a very accomplished Ironman 70.3 athlete. She is a Victorian. So watch out, Cam. Let's bring on Grace Steck. Hey, Grace, how are you, beautiful?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you, Pete?
Yeah, I'm fine. We're all ready for a big race. What's the weather like down there? You can be the weather update there. What's it like down in Victoria this morning?
It's not too bad outside. It's a bit overcast, about 15 degrees, and I think expecting rain later on, but that's not going to worry everyone this morning on Zwift.
Yeah, of course. We do thank Swift, one of our great sponsors. They're absolutely amazing to have them on board, of course. Well done to Tri Victoria. This is what it's all about, getting the athletes onto a start line. It's a virtual start line, but it's all, what it's all about. And we'd love to also introduce a man I've known for many, many years. I had the privilege of trying to grab the mic off him at Ironman 70.3 Geelong. He gives me a little go every now and then, but he is the 2020 Victorian Club Coach of the Year, pro triathlete, and he's got a little bit of an interest in the Melbourne Tri Club today. Sean Foster, welcome, big fella.
Hey, Pete, how you going?
Mate, I'm well. You've got you're rubbing those hands together because your Tri Club, or the club that you're part of, has got a really good chance here today in race 6 of the Tri Club series.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been great. It's been we've been in lockdown, obviously, so this is all we've been sort of hanging our hat on, doing club races and virtual stuff. So it's been Zwift's been fantastic. So yeah, can't wait for the last race.
Yeah, we had race 6. 2 of the races have been time trial. 4 of them have been a bunch. And we can see, ladies and gentlemen, on the start line, we're going to go down to the starting pen, see some of the riders. You can see the names up there on the side. I know Stu Harsley's there. Watch out for him. He's done Kona a couple of times. Cam, you've done a lot of bike racing on the road, but what about this virtual setup? It's quite amazing to see almost 200 riders this morning.
Yeah, I have. And I've also done quite a lot of racing on Swift. Of course, the team did a couple of races. We had the Tour de Swift, the virtual Tour de France in the year. So it was incredible that, as time went on, I mean, for Swift, they've sort of been, I don't think they didn't expect, obviously, something like this to happen as the rest of the world didn't, but they've been as fluid as the situation and moved with it and made improvements to the platform to the point where, the last race I did was actually when we finished in Paris. It felt very much certainly like a criterium, the drafting aspect, trying to get away, obviously people become and the great addition is also the power-ups, the be invisible, the attacks some people are very good at that, and it makes a big difference to the race, which adds an exciting element to it. I mean, it's silly to think that it's the real thing because it's not. So it's great that Swift have added those extra little bits to give it its own unique spot in the sport, and it's been fantastic.
Yeah, of course we do. Triathlon Victoria Race Series. We do like to thank our partners, of course, Swift. They are absolutely amazing. SAS Cycling Club, and also all the affiliated tri clubs that are racing. 70% of the Victorian tri clubs are racing out there. 1,200 plus people have raced over the 5 series. And look at the helicopter. We brought the helicopter in. Foz, you want to jump in the helicopter and go and watch the race today?
Mate, I'll get mic'd up and give you a weather report from up there as well.
All right, this is what it's all about, folks. Welcome to your race day. Victoria Club Race Series, Race 6, the big one, the championship trophy. We've raced all over the world, and I tell you what, Grace, the athletes are ready, and we are excited for what is going to be an epic, fast and furious race.
Yeah, indeed. I'm excited to watch the action.
All right, so we're not too far away on going on the watch, about 2.5 minutes. We are going to get underway right at 7:30 a.m. Joining, of course, Pete Murray, myself, is Cam Worth, Sean Foster and Grace Steck. Those guys know their job. They're going to do a lot of the work. I'm just going to sit back and relax, guys, and just watch it. I've done my 60K ride already this morning on the road, but I'm looking forward to seeing this. And we can see some of the athletes warming up. Foz, you're a super coach, the Victorian Super Coach of the Year. What are these athletes going to be doing? How are they going to be feeling right now, champion?
Well, road race on Zwift, it's pretty hectic for the first couple of minutes because everyone's trying to get into a bit of a selection. So they just go flat out. They're nearly sprinting off the start line, for these age groups, it's like 5 or 6 watts per kilo. And they'll hold it for a couple of minutes and try and get into a group because drafting is so important in these races. So if you get dropped at the start, you're out. Doesn't matter how strong you are. So,
well, it looks like we're going to have a good job. We're not on the bikes. Cam Worth, I can see you just trying to grab the handlebars already. You're not even on the bike. You just want to be part of it, buddy.
Always. It's funny, Sean, talking about that. We had Froomey on our team, and he was in Tenerife at 2,000 metres, and sure enough, it went out like the clappers in the first minute. He got dropped because he didn't have any oxygen, and sure enough, we didn't see him again that day. So, even the best can get spat out the back in a Swift race. So I'm excited to see how this one pans out.
Yeah,
that first couple of minutes is crucial.
Yeah, the helicopter hovering over beautiful France here. We're under 1 minute, 56 seconds, actually. And we do thank Cam Worth sponsors in Pinarello and Castelli, and, of course, the Grenadier team. And Grace, love to see you in the Hoka. On shoes, of course, they sponsor Fredino. They sponsor Cam Brown. I'm even an ambassador for Hoka as well. So well done to Hoka, Ian and Roger here in Aussie. But we are 30 seconds away from the race start of race 6 in the Tri Victoria Club Race Series. To all the athletes out there, they can hear us. Have a great race. It's short. It's going to be absolute pumping. This is what it's all about, folks. 20 seconds to race start. Just under 200 athletes are on there representing clubs from all over Melbourne. We'll go through some of the clubs. 10 seconds. You're in the starter's hands. We'll get the start underway. Here we go with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Racing in Victoria for race 6 of the Triathlon Victoria Club Race Series. Over to you, Cam. Give us a bit of upfield. You can see the ride. There's bikes there without riders.
It looks like someone's been left behind on the start. I don't know who number 25.
Follow someone else.
Oh, it might be Pete. Looks like it's a Pete Murray, is it?
It is Pete Murray.
Yeah.
Mr. Rainey, newsflash. The race start.
Bayside Tri Club. Let's go it on.
Mate,
here we go. We're in.
Here we go.
But as expected, it's a hectic start, and I mean the guys have gone out like an absolute bat out of hell, and expect to probably see only a third of the field, at the front after we get our pitches back would be a good start.
This race caters for all abilities, Cam, Grace and Foz, A grade, B grade.
Here we go.
I tell you what, Rainey is really confident. Here we are, we're out on the road along the pebble stones right now on the most famous strip of riding in the land. There's the Nunna Tri Club with a Nunna, I should say, Tri Club, one of the big clubs. Other clubs to look out for: Melbourne Tri Club, Davey Back, I4 coaching with Mitch Kibbe, Hawthorn Tri Group, Tri Specify. Cameron, I can hear your young fella cheering along as well. He's part of it.
Yeah, he gets into anything sport. I mean, I made sure, one of the first things he did was, watch sport on TV. I mean, as any good parent would. I've tried a rerun of Kona, of course, just to get him in the groove. And he's very much into the Swift racing. Just on this course, I've actually obviously done it, and it's actually quite. I mean, it's very, very realistic in that one way it's like a false flatty drag uphill, which I think is what they're on now, and then they'll turn around and go downhill. And from memory, during the race, you had to really grit your teeth to stay in the front group on the drag up, and then it actually did feel quite a lot easier going down. So expect to see it break up in one direction, and then probably less fireworks on the other side of the course. But every lap we're going to see some action. So we can already see a little bit of a selection at the front.
Yeah, and it doesn't take long to get the big boys up to the front, of course. And Grace, you've done this before. As we said before, you are the current leader in the Australian Swift Run and Ride leader. But as Cam said, how realistic is Swift? They do an amazing job. It feels like you literally are in France.
Yeah, for sure. I've been on Zwift for about 2 years now, and I've, as Cam mentioned, I've seen the progression in the improvements of all aspects of Zwift, and I think it's incredible that we have this technology, especially during this year, during the pandemic, to be able to have the opportunity to ride inside and on this platform. And I think here in Victoria, we were in pretty strict lockdown with only 1 hour of exercise outside each day. So as triathletes, it's a bit hard to fit all that in 1 hour. So having Zwift and that platform has been really sensational to not only help with motivation, but to be able to get that training in and connect with other people online. So it's very real, and definitely you feel the effects as they're riding along the cobblestones now. When you're on Zwift, you're not feeling as fast through these sections, but as Cam said, this will be kind of an opportunity for people to attack on the 4-lap course today.
And Foz, one of your athletes there from the Fluid Melbourne Tri Club there, he looks pretty good, Mr. Miller there, now leading Melbourne Tri Club, leading the race series. So tell us a bit about this young man.
Yeah, so the guy on screen now, he's actually a bit of a sprinter, so he's from Hawthorn Tri Club. His name's Aidan Filshy, and he's won a couple of bunch sprints, so he's very good on a road race. Probably hasn't figured as much in the TTs, but he's got like 13-14 watt sprint on him, which is not bad for an age grouper in Melbourne, triathlete. Guy behind, they're actually in club colours. So, say for example, Melbourne Tri Club, we've picked the yellow gear, of course, being the tour. The maillot jaune. So the yellow gear is Melbourne Tri Club, and a lot of the clubs are in their own club colours. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's added a lot to the way we do things, and with our training over the lockdown. So a lot of Zwift meetups and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's a couple of good guys in here, really pack a sprint, and Aidan's one of them who's leading there.
Yeah, Foz, this is the race for club glory, mate. Triathletes don't get to compete much as a team, but this race is structured for a team setup. It's club against club in the championship trophy, and I know your club is, as we said before, they are the race leaders, but it's not all about being the race winners or the race series leader. It's about just getting involvement of the Tri clubs, and Tri Victoria have done an amazing job this year in presenting this race series. As Grace said, with the COVID-19, athletes have literally been locked in, and haven't had the opportunity to train. But this is what we need, this is what we like to see, this virtual racing offer 200 plus athletes today the chance to race for their club.
Absolutely, and Tri Vic have done a really good job in the points, so it's not always about who's winning the grade, all that kind of stuff. It's about club participation. We actually have intermediate sprints, so sprint points are on, so we're actually onto the drag, I think, up to the first sprint point, which is a 1.3k climb up to the arc. So it's a bit of a drag if you've ever been over to Paris and ridden up there, so it's not flat, this course. So the sprint's at the top of the hill, they're coming up to it now, actually.
All right, Cameron Worth, you have been there, done that on this very strip live. Of course, we do have Cam Worth. What a privilege to have Australian pro triathlete and cyclist on here. Tell us a bit about this strip at the moment, Cam. The boys are fast and furious, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's unrelenting. There's no free kicks. I mean, you try and get in the draft, and you try and soft pedal, and you quickly get dropped. So Yeah, this is a really tough sprint, and I think the first sprint's going to tell us a lot of potentially about who's actually going to win the race. So I'm watching with bated breath, to be honest. And I must admit, just as always with triathletes, they look so flash. They have got the flashiest equipment that Swift has got to offer, just like we do in real life, as opposed to the roadies. You know, we really leave them for dead in that regard. So good on the guys from Victoria for coming up dressed to the nines.
And look at the sock height. Look at the sock height there, Cam. We're actually we don't have ankle socks or anything on, so.
No, there's no calf socks. I don't see any sleeveless jerseys. So no, I'm really impressed. Or with sleeveless with arm warmers, I guess would be the creme de la creme. But no, they look amazing. They look immaculate, and it's an exciting race so far.
Yeah, it sure is. This is the Triathlon Victorian Club Race Series, Race 6, the final race of what's been an epic series. And I'll tell you what, Tri Victoria, they've got some other events coming up on December 10th. Check this one out, Victorians. The Triathlon Victoria Duathlon Mixed Teams Relay down at Teardrop Criterium Track on the boulevard at Kew, Victoria. A 1K run, a 5K ride and a 400-metre run. Get your team down there. It starts around 5:15 to 7 p.m. But that is on Triathlon Victoria Duathlon Mixed Teams Relay, Thursday, December 10th. But right now, Saturday morning, it's Super Saturday indeed. The Race 6 series, we can see some great riders on there. Grace, what it's all about. You wish you were out there at all, Grace?
I do. I feel like got FOMO right now. I should be out there competing, but it's been nice to watch and follow along with the series over the last 5 races.
Look at that lovely young lady on there. You know her, Foz? She's got your last surname.
Yeah. There's the wifey. She's in the other room. I can hear the kicker whirring, so she's trying hard. That's her on the screen there. She looks like she's leading the second group. So we've got there's a bit of a race on between the girls to see if
can you run into the room and put the fan on so she's got a bit of a headwind, you know?
I'll get mobile.
Yeah, we'd love to see her. There she is. This is what it's all about. All the clubs popping up, and as Foz said, they're in their club colours. I can't believe Rainey. He's better get going sooner or later.
Yeah.
He's still on the start line. I don't know what's going on anyway.
All right, Pete, we're going to go see how she's going.
All right, this is live footage. This is live footage as it happens. We've got one of our athletes as part of Race 6. G'day, Mrs. Foster.
There she is.
This is Foz. You're trying to keep up. How do you keep up with her?
I don't.
That's what it's all about. And look at the footage. We've got the helicopter view there. We can see the French flags waving in the breeze as our riders now coming up, as Cam said. Mr. Hill there from the Nunna Tri Club. 70% of Tri clubs in Victoria have been part of this. 1,200 athletes, Cam, over 5 races. Epic to see.
Yeah, and that's the wonderful thing about online racing is there's no real limit to the size of the field, is there? I mean, you can pack as many people on there as people who've got kickers at home and a Swift account, and go for it. It's certainly all of it really, I guess, as far as triathlon goes, it really resonates with our sport so much because we're a mass participation sport, and we've it's been it's pardon the pun, a saving grace throughout the whole lockdown period.
Yeah, some other athletes to look out there for. I4 coaching team. We've got Lukey Bell, Ironman champion here in Ironman Australia. And of course, he also won in, I think it was Mont Tremblant in 2013. Mitch Kibbe's out there. Adam Conquest, one of Australia's great age group athletes. Boy, that man can be riding. He's representing the Melbourne Tri Club. Nigel Fanning, look out for Nigel from the Yarra Tri. Darcy Williams, the Ballarat Tri Club. Elijah Lewis from the Nuttawading Tri Club out there as well. Just some of the athletes around 200 plus watching. We've got Kibbe on there now. Come over with us, raced at Ironman in Ironman Asia. I think he podiumed at Ironman 7.3 Gure, one of the first years in Korea. Very talented athlete, great coach, and on screen now, Oz. Oz, you there?
Yep.
Get back. Can't you hear us because of the helicopter, mate?
Oh, no, sorry, mate. It's a bit high up there. No, Mitch has been going really well. He's been one of the major pros that have been racing. We've had Lee Anderson do a couple of races as well, taking out a win. So we've had a fair few pros. Luke's done a couple of races. So it's been mainly age group, but we've had some participation from some pro triathletes as well. I think it's been great because some of the age groups, it's sort of a bit of a leveler here. As long as you can get into a bit of a selection and you can get your draft. Some of these age groupers have been giving it to a few of the pros in the sprints. So it's been, I don't know, it's been great for them. And our guys have really improved just by doing a lot of targeted variable pace stuff, you know, kicker stuff over winter training for these events. So it's been fantastic.
That's what it's all about, joining the Triathlon Victoria Club Race Series. He's Grace Deck, pro triathlete, Cameron Worth, pro triathlete cyclist. He's done it all and still doing it all at the world class level. And Sean Foster, a renowned athlete himself in his day, now super coach, the #1 coach in Victoria for 2020. And it's what it's all about. Clubs from all over Victoria racing here on Saturday morning Australian time. It is around 7:45, just coming up to 7:45. Cam Worth is over on the east coast of America. When are you coming home, Worthy? When are you going to come home?
Oh, I was hoping Scotty Morrison might have been on the coverage with you, Pete, and I could have a chat to him about that and see when he might. It's just a bit. The 2 weeks obviously in a hotel. It's just a bit of a tricky one, especially with a 7-month-old baby. I mean, he swims. He's already swimming 3 times a week. I just don't want to interrupt his preparation for Iron Kids in Kona next year. I mean, he's only got 12 months to prepare, Pete. So we can't really waste 2 weeks like that. He hasn't been doing it long enough to warrant an off season. So
you'll get there. You'll get there. Grace, how are you feeling now? You can see some of the people up there. We've got a Canadian flag on screen. Of course, we've got international athletes part of the Victorian Tri Series. That's what it's all about, Grace. Athletes, no matter how fast or slow, size, weight, it doesn't matter where you're from, you're part of this race series.
Yeah, for sure. That's the great thing about Zwift, is being able to all race as one. As Sean said before, you've got age groupers, you've got pros in there, people of, all ages and abilities. So it's really great that everyone can, perform and race on the same platform together.
Yeah, we do thank once again Tri Victoria. They've done an awesome job to present this race series. As we said, it started. We've raced in London, New York, Yorkshire, Richmond, Watopia, of course in Swift, and today we're in France. It's what it's all about, and we're doing it all from the comfort of home. And believe me, boys and Grace, bagging rights are on the line, and you know what it's all about, Worthy. Everyone loves a win. Everyone loves to brag and be the club champion trophy winner today.
Absolutely. I mean, especially, well, I'd love to be in there because I just always love meeting people from Victoria, full stop. So,
no offence, mate. A lot of people are glad that you're not in there today. I mean that very kindly. I know if I saw you on the start line, I would be like that guy. I'd be still sitting on the start line waiting for you to go past.
Yeah, I'd just be rapt to be honest, I'd be rapt to be back in Australia on the start line at the moment. But no, I mean, it's just testament to, Tri Victoria for giving their members and everyone, it's the most difficult thing, particularly in a sport like triathlon this year where there hasn't really been any competition, is keeping people engaged and and interested in it. And I think this is obviously an incredible example, and what it's going to do is it's going to feed people's fire to get out and do the real thing. I mean, I'm sure every one of these people competing today cannot wait to get out on a real start line and get wet and have a swim and obviously have a ride and have a run. And I think we're in for some exciting times for our sport. It's been great over the past few years, and once this is all over, it's really going to be something special. So this has been great. Hats off to Victoria for being able to do this for their members.
Yeah, they've done a great job. Tri Victoria have led the charge in that regards. Foz, you've been, like I said before, we've been locked down, but this time last year, you would not have thought we'd ever have something like this, what we're seeing today. We were all out on the roads, training, swimming in the bays and running around beautiful Melbourne. But Tri Victoria said, hey, we've got to give something to our members, let's do it. And today is the culmination of 5 races now, 6 races today. It's a culmination of what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to March and the arse just dropped out of Victoria. I mean, the other states have had it hard as well, but we had a pretty severe lockdown. And seriously, as a coach, you're just going, how can you keep your athletes motivated? And we literally went from thinking about racing and results with racing to thinking about like improving your FTP and stuff like that because we didn't have any races. And then Triathlon Victoria put this series on, and every 2 or 3 weeks we'd have an event we'd race for, and they've picked it so you've picked different courses. We've raced up Elk Swift, we've done flat courses, we've done cobbled courses, TTs, like ITTs and road races. So there's been something for every ability. And we've got guys that are really good on a road race that aren't as good in a ITT, and then so it's something for everybody, and it's just allowed us to keep our athletes focused, because it's all about routine, and the only thing we've been able to meet up for the last 6 months are virtual meetups on Zwift. So it's been a lifesaver for Victorians, and it's probably hard for some of the other states to realise how hard it's been, but this is a godsend for Victorian athletes.
Yeah, and Try Victoria, we mentioned already on December 10th, we're the Victorian Duathlon Mixed Teams Relay. Check out the Try Victoria website. A week later, boys, this will be a good one for you, Foz and Grace. Thursday, December 17th, down in Port Melbourne, Sandwich Beach, we've got a aquathon, or a quathlon, as they pronounce it, 600 metre swim, 4.5k run. And that's on December 17th. And Grace, that's what it's all about. Try Victoria are now not just doing the virtual racing, they're back out on the streets, on the beaches, on the roads, doing what they love best, and that's presenting triathlon, aquathlon and duathlon as well. And that's December 17th. Might see you down there, Grace.
Yeah, it sounds like a good event, and obviously that's a good preparation before the new year. We've got a couple of races hopefully still on in Melbourne. The 2x2 series is starting up, and then hopefully Geelong later, end of February. So it's a good little test to see where your fitness is at. It's not overly long, but it will be definitely fast. So yeah, it's exciting to see some additional races from Tri-Vic. And so, obviously the Zwift racing has been great, and Tri-Vic have taken the initiative to add some more races to the program or schedule each year.
And there's rumours going around that Camworth's little son may make a special appearance at the aquathlon, do the swim. You reckon he'll be up for the 600 metre swim by December 17th?
He'd definitely give it a crack. That's the scary thing. He would definitely give it a crack. His last appointment with the paediatrician, she told us that this kid's very dangerous. To either leave him on the floor or make sure you got your hands on him. So, as I said, 3 times a week. We'll up it to 4 in the new year, and I really think that who knows. Maybe we'll get to an Ironman in Australia next year. Maybe we'll be able to accelerate his Iron Kids debut, but try not to put too much pressure on him, Pete. He is only 7 months old.
I know, he's got a long way to go, big future. He's got a good gene pool, let's put it that way. You and your wife, very talented. He'll be flying around. So, but check out the speeds we're seeing up here, boys. I saw as Cam was talking, we're up around 50, 54, 55k an hour. They're also going up, as Cam said earlier on, that little rise, that long rise up the Champs-Elysee in France. Foz, the heart rate will be pumping, the wattage is unbelievable numbers. Talk us through what we're seeing on the screen right now, Champ.
Yeah, so we're on the coming down from the arc. So you've got a 1.3k pretty much slight downhill. So it's you're not going to break away at this point. It's a matter of just saving your energy for the next circuit up the hill. We've got some good guys in there. So you got Mitch Kibbe, you got Adam Miller from Melbourne Tri Club. It looks like there's about 6 or 7 guys. We've actually got Sean Blackie, who's a bit of a dark horse. He's racing for the Cryogen team out in the US. I think they've literally poached him and asked him to ride, but he's riding for them. So there's some good names up there. And it looks like they've really cleared out, and they're sitting at, they're generally sitting at 43, 44k an hour on the flat. So they're certainly moving.
Anyway, so the hard way to wake up on a Saturday morning and see some of the fittest Victorians riding on Swift. Of course, we do thank Swift, one of the official sponsors of the Try Victoria Race Series, along with the SAS Cycling Club, and all the affiliated clubs. It really is great to have you on board here for the Try Victoria Race Series. The race for Club Glory is well underway. We're around the 14.5 kilometre mark. Some major speed. I'll tell you what, even on Swift, some of the machines, Grace, they look amazing.
Yeah, it's a matter of picking the right bike. I mean, I was having a look at the best bikes to pick today, and they were talking about the Specialized Venge and the Trek Madone and the Tron bike. So,
what about the Pinarellos, mate? What about the Pinarellos? We got Camworth.
They only go fast when I'm on them, I think, Pete.
I love the Yamaha 750. That's what I love to ride.
There's no
To keep up with
e-bikes
Cam.
on them,
That's what I got to have to keep up with Cam.
We've been seeing some great modifications. People linking their Swift up to a NutriBullet and all sorts of different things. trying to get around the platform. So
all being 40 kilos and 110 centimeters tall.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, some of the weights we've seen. I remember the first the pro triathlete. Now they had the league there. I never actually competed in that. I had the team stuff we were doing, but yeah, the first race we had these guys doing like 8, 9, 10 watts a kilo. I'm thinking either they're doing something really wrong when I race them, or there's something a bit fishy here. And yeah, the next week, they made them all weigh in with a video camera, and all of a sudden things were back down around 5 watts. So we've had some mechanical doping, it would appear, over the teething problems of Swift, but they've sorted that out, and it's definitely a level playing field now. And it's certainly something that you can't hide on this thing. You cannot hide. You cannot be up there at the front in a Swift race. It's impossible. I mean, that's one of the hardest things I've ever done personally. It's I guess for you, Sean, it's a great chance to see where your athletes are at, and potentially maybe even unearth some guys that you didn't know had the ticker under the hood, and nurture that on the road.
Yeah, it's the race style. These races are the hardest things our athletes do, because we're very much steady state tempo, and variable pace training's a little bit more road, with constant change of pace in packs and so forth. So it's sort of given us a little bit more of a skill set, and a lot of our guys, their 5-minute power's gone through the roof, whereas in other times of the year and when there's no lockdown, we're not really worried too much about their 5-minute power when they're 180k riders. So, it's sort of we've had to adapt, and we've been basing aims around power versus necessarily racing. So we have sort of gone a little bit more road, because we are racing in road races like this one. So we've got to get them as fit as they can to be able to handle the sprint, and then be able to catch their breath and then keep ploughing onto the finish. So
yeah, good morning, Victoria. Welcome to what we are really enjoying here, the Tri Victoria Club Race Series, the final race of the series. Everyone's putting on the line for their club. We don't get to see it in triathlon, as we said earlier on, very often, where you get to race as a team. But we can see some great riding out there, some awesome speeds. We're going through our field. We've got some of the best A-grade riders and triathletes in Victoria. Up the front, we've got our competitive age group is through the middle. We just got our Saturday morning riders that want to be part of this amazing series, just doing their job as well. Boz, tell us a little bit about the course in regards to distance. Around 8 o'clock, we are expecting our A-grade to finish, so we're not too far away to seeing who will be our overall winner, and of course who will take home the Tri Club Trophy today.
Yeah, it's pretty short and fast. It's 4 laps of the 6.6k circuit, so got a 3.2k lead in. So I think it's 29.6k total for the race, and they'll be doing it well under 45 minutes for 30k. So well over 40k an hour average. And on the cobbles, it is a little bit slow. So they actually do, they do really mimic the road or real life IRL stuff, because you go on cobbles, it's a little bit slower. You go on the dirt of Watopia, it's a little bit slower. Then you have your slick courses. So they've done a really good job of mimicking real life courses and whatever, but it's still going to be quick around here. So it'll be early 40s. The race will finish. They're doing 29.6. So very much less than an hour of power. So right on threshold. So they should be averaging 105% of FTP if they're in good shape.
Wow, it's great to see the people of France come out as well on the sidelines there and tune home again. God, there's a lot of Aussie going through here. It's the Victorian Tri Series. That's why, Grace. Epic racing, as Sean said, it's short, it's fast. It really is action-packed racing, and you've got to be on your A game, literally, to be up in front, as Cam said.
Yeah, for sure, and I think you've got to really respond. I think we'll see a couple of attacks coming in the next little while as it approaches the end. So I think with Swift, there's maybe a little bit of a delay in what you put out on your bike versus your avatar. So you're really having to respond very quickly to attacks that present themselves. So it'll be interesting to see over the next couple of K how it unfolds.
Yeah, it's what it's all about, the club versus club on the Saturday here for the Tri Victoria Tri Club Series. It really is awesome. It's great, as I said before, well done to Tri Victoria for really being the leaders around Australia, presenting a great series for their athletes. And of course, we already mentioned that 2 live events are going to be happening, the mixed duathlon mixed teams relay on December 10th, the aquathlon on December 17th, and don't forget the 2021 season starts, folks. We're pumped for the Super Summer of Triathlon. The 2xU Tri Series kicks off in Melbourne on Sunday, January 17th. Lock this one away. It's down, of course, at St Kilda, home of the former Ironman Melbourne Asian Championship finish line, and that's going to be happening on January 17. I'll tell you what, Sean and Grace being Victorians, what it's all about. Live racing will be back, as we said, January 17. Their 2xU Tri Series kicks off. A lot of excitement there, Grace.
Yeah, really exciting times, especially for Victoria and I guess the rest of the world. Haven't been able to race and see where your fitness is at in a race situation other than virtual racing, which has been great. But getting out on the road and being racing in real life is going to be really exciting. And I'm all ready to race the 2xU series, as you mentioned, starting on Jan 17th. So it's a little bit out of my comfort zone, a lot shorter than the half Ironman with the sprint distance race, but it'll be fun to kind of see where that short distance speed's at, and hopefully I can hang with the girls as long as possible.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Sean, any truth in the rumours that you're going to be throwing on the budgie smugglers and maybe doing the race yourself?
Oh, no chance. No chance.
Thank God it's a family show. That would be pretty scary for the kids.
No chance.
Pretty scary
Only
for the
if you do,
commentator.
mate. Only if you do.
Mate, actually, I put it out for Tri Victoria. I said I'd love to come down and help with the race one of the series. So the offer's still there. So we're going to be talking to Tri Victoria. You never know. I might be come down there as a co-host with the other great commentator there at the moment. I'm not sure who it is, but I would love to come down and give Victoria a little bit of a kick along if they think it's worth it. But that's another race. But today it is race 6 of the Tri Series. Race for Club Glory is underway. We're not too far away from the finish, as Sean said, 4 laps of around 6Ks each lap, so we're not too far away. That guy's so good he's pedaling backwards. How good's that? Free speed, Cam, free speed.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's really followed the script of a normal sort of Swift race. We saw that selection very early. We saw a bit of a lull through the middle, and then the pace has slowly but surely ramped up over the last 3 or 4 minutes, and now I'm not sure who that is that separated themselves from the field, but there's a couple of them off the front now, and they're obviously head and shoulders above the rest at the moment. I mean, there's a lot of fatigue in the legs, and it's one thing to sort of stay there, as Sean was talking about, around that threshold, a little bit above, a little bit below power, but you really need another gear in the legs to be able to then kick on from there, and that's what we're seeing at the front now. These couple of guys skipping away, and it's going to be hard for the rest to pull them back.
Yeah, great to see a lot of the Tri clubs out there, including Ballarat, Knox Tri Club, Geelong Performance Coaching, Beckworth Racing, Adam Beckworth out there, Bayside Tri Club, Casey Cardinia Tri Club as well, Elton, Elite Tri Performance out there as well, along with some of the big clubs. Melbourne Tri Club are currently our race series leader with 783 points. Davey Black Tri, Steve Davis and the team. Their I4 Coaching Complete Performance up there. Tri Specify Hawthorn. We see Hawthorn Tri Club on the big screen now. Tri Specify Ringwood, Greenspa. Some of the big clubs racing this weekend. You know this man very well, Sean. He looks pretty strong.
Yeah, I've never met him, but I've come to know him on these Zwift races. He's really stretching them. There's like two or three sort of just hanging in there. I think it's Sean Blackie in second place. But it's really hard to get away from the pack on a flat road race on Zwift. You really need either to be a big, strong, a lot stronger than the other guys to really pull away from the pack. But it was a fairly small selection, so he's just been turning the screws, and he's got a couple of guys going with him in the other 2 2 or 3 are dropping off a little bit. So Aiden's more so known as a bit of a sprinter. So he's really like sustained effort on here, which is not how he normally races. So he's in good shape. He's really primed himself for the grand final. So, but it's not over yet. They're 21k in, so we've still got 6-7k. So you know, someone might be sitting pretty a couple of spots back and let him do all the work.
Yeah, it's what it's all about on Swift. As Cam said, you can't hide. You're out there, you're visible, no matter if you're up the front or in the middle. Anyone and everyone can see exactly what you're pumping out, where you are on the course in regards to distance. And we can see there's a couple of packs there, like you said, Sean. It could be a bit of a tactic there, letting one man go up the road. Cam, you know better than anyone. Here especially, the tactics involved. It is a team event. It's about getting the number one rider up towards the front and helping him or her stay there and away from the field.
Yeah, I mean, certainly that's, I mean, the amount of time people had spent on Swift, by the time we got to the Tour de Swift, you know, where all the teams were racing each other, you literally had to race it very much like a road race. Pick a designated leader and protect them. Fortunately, we had Filippo Garner on our team, so picking a designated leader wasn't overly difficult. And Rowan Dennis is a backup, so that's always a bit of a luxury. So, yeah, so
TT combination.
Yeah, so I'm pretty up to date with how you make sure you keep those guys in check. And I guess my job the whole race was to, follow any attacks and so forth and just keep that, that front part of the bunch, make sure our guys just could stay in that front part of the bunch as I kept on pulling back whoever was attacking at the time. And, and then in the last lap, those guys would unleash their ferocious, pursuing style sprint. Yeah, it's great to see how this unfolds. It's a bit hard to follow. Of course, we've got all the grades racing. We've got men and women, so we're seeing some lab riders and so forth. But it'd be good to see which club has actually really worked together as a team to get the result. Don't have the standings in front of me at the moment, but I'm excited to see how close they are and how it shakes out at the finish. So I always say, a player that makes a team great is much more valuable than just being a great player. So we'll see who's been good teammates.
Yeah, well said. Of course, we're watching E. Riley at the moment live on race of the Tri Victoria Race Series. We've said before, London, New York, Yorkshire, France. Now today we've been in Watopia, of course on Swift, on Watopia, and Richmond, all part of the race series. But today it culminates with the final race with bragging rights up for the strongest tri club in the series this year in 2020. It's been a very different year, folks, and we do thank every single one of those athletes. Almost 200 of you out there today enjoying the streets of France. The crowd are cheering. We're watching on. The clubs are all watching. It's what it's all about. Dry fluid there. Van Murray looking strong there. Sean, one of your troops.
Yeah, so Vanessa's, I've got to do the last race. She hasn't done all of them, so she's riding with Lindsay, my wife, just there. They're both in the yellow.
She's a Kiwi, right, Vanessa?
Yeah, Vanessa was the first female age group that finished at Ironman New Zealand, so it was literally the last Oceania event before lockdown. We actually got back about 2 days before Victoria went into lockdown, so Vanessa did like a 9:40 as an age grouper. So she's for the Ironman New Zealand, so she's pretty rapid. So we got her back for this race, and she loves doing these. So she's won me over the female age.
She's a renowned athlete. We've got Van Murray and Foster side by side. We're in the team yellow, of course. That is representing the Melbourne Tri Club. Great to see the ladies doing an awesome job. And I tell you what, boys, they're keeping some of the men pretty honest out there, Grace, and that's what it's all about. Go to the girl power.
Yeah, for sure. It's a bit hard to see, I guess, on avatars exactly who's the girls up the front, but Vanessa and Lindsay are doing really well, so that's great to see for the girls.
Yeah, it's what it's all about. Some more international flags flying in Queensland. Very shortly we are going to be catching up with Tri-Australia Presidente, Michelle Cooper. We're going to talk about, of course, the Triathlon Australia Run and Ride Series, and we're also going to talk about what's coming up with Ironman in 2021 here in Australia. Tell you what, I've just been walking around the house with a microphone for the last 8 months. I want to use a microphone, and Cam, hopefully things go cross. We're going to see you return to Ironman Australia, of course, in hashtag 2444 Port Macquarie, where you absolutely had the race of your life, I believe, last year in 2019.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I'm still the champion, aren't I? But yeah, I mean, it did. It was. It was great. I mean, it obviously didn't go to plan. Had a terrible swim. You know, I had to ride through and made me ride a lot, probably harder than I ever had. And then, of course, you had, you know, guys hot on your heels on the run. So we'd done a lot of work on that, but the pressure was on to actually, you know, show all the work I'd done, and had a bit of a hiccup there, a couple of K from the end, but dug deep and. Yeah, and got home, and I'd love nothing more to be back. Honestly, I mean, if we can be in Australia for that, I'll be there in a heartbeat. I mean, that was just it's a race. As I said to you at the time, back from the Foster days. You know, when I was back rowing, playing soccer as a kid, you always followed the Foster Ironman. And, you know, once I got in the sport and moved to Port Macquarie, you know, where I went to school as a kid, you know, and grew up, you know, yeah, it was a dream come true. There's no other way to put it. So. I'm excited to hear what happens with the races next year in Oz, because I definitely want to get back there, you know. Where they say absence makes the heart grow fonder, and yeah, it's nothing like competing in front of your home crowd, and of course be with you on the mic. It always makes it that much more special.
Thanks, too kind. But we are racing in Victoria today. This is the Victoria Race Series. Absolutely amazing racing. We are getting up around that 26-kilometre mark now, so not long till we actually see the finish of our A-grade riders coming on through. We are going to try and get an update on who will be our champion, who will be the champion club before we wrap up today. If not, make sure you log on to the Tri Victoria website and see which club will be having the bragging rights for the Tri Club Race Series. The I4C team coming on through there, some nice machinery down in the aero on the drop bars there, really pumping up some major watts, 52 kilometres an hour at the moment, flying along from this young Shaw. And Sean, the heart rate, they'll be beating like 180, 190 beats at the moment for these A-grade riders coming towards the finish.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like it's spread out quite a bit, so it's all a matter of timing the sprint if you're in a pack, and obviously we're seeing probably the front of the field and not necessarily B and C and D grade, but they'll be tucked in nicely. It's a matter of just hiding as much as you can until the last couple of 100 metres and then just unleashing 10 seconds of effort. So, you know, if you're smart, you can save yourself a lot of power and still actually come out on top. So there's no use leading unless you're going to break away or you're working for somebody else. So it's a very, like Cam said, a lot of team tactics involved, but what we're seeing here is fairly spread out. It's probably more the front of the field. We're looking his Mr. A-grade, C. Shaw, so Eiffel coaching from Mitch Kibbe. I think they've got about 5 or 6 in the team today, and they're actually third, and they're very close to second spot out of the clubs in the series, so they're hoping to go well today.
Yeah, of course, Melbourne Tri Club are the race series leader at the moment on 783 points. Davey Black, Tri, on 623. And as you said, Sean, only about 17 points behind is the I4 coaching team. So it is up to grabs. That will be our podium in maybe not that order, but that's the 3 clubs that are vying for the podiums today. It's what it's all about, triathletes racing today as a team. And it's really great to see the teamwork. And Cam, you've been part of teams, obviously, with pro cycling. It's what it's all about, mate. You've got a job to do, and today you've got to make sure you get the job done.
Yeah, it's also interesting to see, or not surprising really for Victoria, so many international flags. They do tend to struggle with homegrown talent. They tend to try and poach it from elsewhere. So that's quite common. But no, exactly. And especially, I mean, the sport of cycling, I mean, it's the greatest individual team sport on the planet. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, there can only be one winner. And you really, all the other people on the team, you have to be very selfless to really race it as a great teammate. You know, I mean, winning the race really can't even be part of your psyche if your specific role is to assist your team leader, and even more so since I've come back into cycling after 6 years away, and the level's gone up so much. It is even more so all in for one, and I guess. the more of a team sport that I've been involved in would be rowing, where that's something where cohesion, and no matter how strong someone is in the boat, I used to always say, you know, I want to be the weakest guy in the boat, because if I'm training my backside off and being as good as I can be, the rest of the guys must be better than me, and we'll have a great crew. So, you know, I guess you look at rowing. I look at rowing if I really want to think about a true team sport.
Yeah, the yellow jersey there, Adam Miller from the Fluid Emma Melbourne Tri Club there. I just want to, Cam, I know you want to come back to New South Wales. We'll let you in New South Wales. But after those comments, mate, I don't think you'll be allowed back in Victoria.
I don't think he wants to.
Oh, you reckon, Sean, we open the boom gate or not? I don't know.
He doesn't want to come over.
I might come over. I might come down as a security guard. I think you might need one. We're out the 28.7 kilometre mark now. So, Sean, let's call it all the way home. It's up to you, mate, to call our champions home.
Yeah, so we're coming around the back of the garden here, and then we're going to a little bit of a chicane, and then we're pretty much into the finishing straight. So it looks like 2 guys have cleared out, we've probably only got a 2K to go. So it's going to be a battle out of the 2 of them. So I'd probably want to be on the wheel if I was wanting to take the win. But
tell you what, Shorey looks a pretty mean rider. He's got the mohawk look down there. I
don't know where Filshy's gone. I'm not sure if he's dropped off after doing all that work, but no, I mean, it's all about the glory of the finish line and the sprint. So you're going to lead the pack the whole way. You've got to make sure you're the strongest to finish it off, or you're working for somebody else. So they're coming through the little chicane here, and then they're going to turn right, and then they're going to come into the finishing point. So we're not far away. I think we're only 400 or 500 metres away.
You said around 45 minutes, so you do know your stuff, mate. You know your stuff really well.
Here we go, the power up.
All right, the sprint up to the final finish. Here they go. Chase a breakaway. The challenge has to be.
He's got him.
Fell for it, hook, line and sinker. He's absolutely come from the benches here.
Wait a minute, it might not be over yet. He's out of the saddle. He's got into the slipstream. He's going to make a move. Oh, it's over.
Saved the ghost.
Oh, what a race. What a race. What a finish by those 2 riders.
That was an experienced Swift win right there.
Cassidy had a good comeback, but just not enough to get over the line for the win.
Yeah, I was just bagging Aiden, and he actually dropped back and was on first wheel, so he did it perfectly. He just let the guy lead out, used his power up, and once the power up went away, he was and come over the top.
I tell you what, he rode.
He's cooked his goose now.
I'm about to say he rode fast and he put the anchors on even quicker. he's probably laying on the floor at home. He's had enough, but that's what it's all about. That's what we want to see when we see the top class racing. Everyone putting on the line, and what a finish for race 6 of the Victoria Tri Series. Cam Work joins along with Sean Foster and Grace Deck. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, wasn't that exciting racing. We still see age groups from all over Victoria enjoying this Super Saturday.
Absolutely. So you'll get guys that'll go the hour, and so we've still probably got a lap to go. Most people are still on their last lap. So so I want to see how we go with the B, C, and D grades, which is very important as well. So it's great.
Yeah, there's Mr. Lopez there coming on through. Is that Louis Lopez?
No, it's Joey.
I'm about to say, because Louis bald on there. His
brother. Actually, that guy is bald in real life.
Yeah, he went for the hair.
No, he's gone for the hair.
That's what I like about Swift. I'm around 90 kilos, so I could put in 75 and just to see myself looking a bit slimmer. I love it. You can have the nice hair. I've got short hair, but you can have the hair blowing in the breeze. You can have the tan skin. You can do whatever you like. It's awesome.
The fella who got second was rocking a nice grey beard, and I know Cassidy myself, and I don't think he can grow too much facial hair. So, as you said, it's definitely, you can put your own twist on it.
All right, very shortly we're going to join with our Triathlon Australia President, Michelle Cooper. I've got no contact with Tri Victoria at the moment. Our phone lines are down, so I'm just hoping that the team behind the cameras are all happy with what we're doing so far. When we're ready to talk to Cooper, I'll just throw to Herbert. Cam, thanks so much, mate. It's been awesome. Pleasure. Seeing you on the screen. Awesome. We got you on just in time. on the East Coast. Of course, a big weekend of racing. Daytona is out there and racing. We are looking forward to seeing some of the world's best athletes there. You're not racing yourself. I've just got a message from Robbie that we are switching real soon. But Cam, can't wait to see you. Come home, mate. Come home. Come home and put the worry.
I will. I'll be home as soon as I can. Thanks, Pete. I'll catch you on Try Buzz with Muzz.
Yeah, of course, we're going to have Cam work next week on Try Buzz with Muzz. Thanks, Cam. Have a great time, champion. Boz, the super coach. I can't wait to see you at Ironman 70.3 Geelong, mate.
That'd be great. Can't wait to get down there. It's always great racing down there.
Yeah, of course, it will kickstart the series event race. Thanks so much for your commentary today. Great racing so far in the swim, run and ride series to Try Australia. We're going to keep you on there, but have a great 2021, Dale.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
All right, joining us live on the coverage now is Michelle Cooper, the Triathlon Australia El Presidente. Michelle, good morning.
Hey, Pete. I'm coming to you from Darwin today, actually. So it's nice up here and it's not 15 degrees like we're crazy.
I travel a lot. In full season, but I think you travel more than me. How is lovely Darwin? What's the time difference there? What's the time difference?
Just before 7 a.m. up here, and I think this time last year I had taken about 100 and something flights. This year I've taken 5, so it's been a bit of a different year.
Yeah, it's been an unusual year. There's no really need to talk about it. We all know what it's been like and what it's like. But good thing, Michelle, the light is at the end of the tunnel. Things look like they are getting back to some form of normality.
Yeah, look, it is. But I think what's been really awesome for us is to see how engaged our community is in everything that we try to do, from a TA point of view, as well as obviously what Try Victoria, Try SA, all of our states are trying really hard to put something different together this year. It's forced us to be a little bit more innovative, which has been amazing, and the community really supported that. So we get that it's been really, really difficult, more difficult in some places like Victoria than in others. We've been fortunate in Queensland, but regardless of that, I think everyone's put in a huge effort to stay connected and do the best they can under the circumstances. I know what you've done with Try Bus, with Pete, all those things, trying to keep us together clearly has worked. When we get turnout like this on race 6, we're getting 200 riders out this morning. People are still really enthusiastic.
Yeah, it's unreal. It's great to see Try Victoria lead the charge to offer their members quality race series. Now, Try Australia have also been doing a very similar series, of course, following on from their Swift Ride series earlier this year. Try Australia have now launched a ride and run series, Michelle, and it's of course supported by Swift and one of our great sponsors, you and I, of course, Hoka, thanks to Ian and Roger. But this is exciting times for Try Australia, the run and ride series.
Yeah, look, again, we just try to make sure that it's something for everyone available. And the ride running combo, obviously, we're not just cyclists. We do all 3 disciplines. We can't swim on Swift, but we can run on Swift. So after this morning, I'm off to lead the run that we have every Saturday morning. There's a 5 and 10K option. I know Grace has done some of the rides with us. She's a lot funnier than I am, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do today for our prize giveaway. But Hoka's been very generous, as have our Swift partners. We've got $150 Hoka voucher up for grabs this morning, but worth getting running shoes on.
Yeah, and of course on Tuesdays and Saturdays, the triathlon community can put their cycling and running skills to test alongside fellow triathletes right in the virtual Swift world. So every Tuesday, every Saturday, get ready for Try Australia run and ride series. Grace, you are the current leader at the moment. You love this series. It's epic to see, and I'm sure you're going to be a big part of it this year as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a great thing to jump in and do some social rides with the group. And unfortunately, I don't have a treadmill at home, so I'm not able to jump in on the run one just yet. But maybe one day I can convince my partner to get a treadmill and we can hook that up. But yeah, it's been great leading it. I'm on it for the next couple of weeks, I think, and so it'll be exciting to chat and ride with other people from around Australia and have that sense of community.
Yeah, tell your partner it's Christmas. You want something for Christmas. Get out there and buy you that great present thanks to Swift. Of course, the Australian Run and Ride Series, it's focused on fun, okay, and community. The Ride and Run Series triathletes, you can join the bunch, as we said, on Tuesdays. Jump on the flat course of Watopia. You can hit the track on Saturdays, so either the 5 or the 10K run. So ride Tuesday, run Saturday, and you can do that at the Giant Mayfield running track. It's going to be exciting, Michelle. It's absolutely fun.
Look, it is, and it's just like social. There is a fast stop lap on lap 3 of the ride, so if you do want to take absolutely have a burst on that last lap 3. But anyone who's seen me race knows that I'm not at the front of the pack. So if you want to have a good old chat and get some miles up, then this is the place to be, really. It's a nice little bonus, usually at a pretty comfortable pace. If someone's sending me with questions already at Dave, too much typing, you can't keep up when I get dropped in the bunch like that guy at the start of the race this morning.
Yeah, I think it's a really good point what you said there, Michelle. A lot of people may be intimidated, think, oh, it's all about, going fast. It's totally not. It's totally not about going fast. It's about just getting out there and enjoying the triathlon community. You could be up there in Darwin, you could be in Brisbane, you could be right here in Port Macquarie, you could be down in Victoria. It doesn't matter where you are. It's just about getting out, enjoying what Triathlon Australia are offering their members.
Times at the moment are different for everybody, so it's the option to be able to put something together that I think is really appealing, and there's lots of great tips and tips that the community keeps throwing out, some pretty ordinary dad jokes as well mixed in there, but it's a great way to be able to connect with people, meet people, find some other people stuff later on. I've got plenty of people who I've then been able to go on rides and get them on Swift and the community of virtual platform. The Triathlon Australia, so this is something that we want to try to do long term and see how we can put it into full race pictures. We try to think of different formats. So we try Victoria, what we did earlier in the year with TriSA. There's a lot of options there for us as we move forward here. We can get back to real life racing as much as possible. But for some people who live rurally and remotely, this is a great alternative. They can't get to local races all the time. This gives them the community that they need.
Yeah, okay, we're going to wrap this up. This is the Tri Australia Run and Ride Series. Of course, if you want to find out more information, just jump on the Tri Australia's website, www.triathlon.org.au. We're just going to go to announce our winners soon. We're just got Bobby on, just giving the heads up there. The Tri Australia Ride and Run Series. Make sure you get part of it. Tuesdays and Saturdays coming up real soon. We're going to announce the winner, and it's a great privilege, guys, to announce that the Tri Victoria Tri Club Series Race 6 is all done. The champions for the series is none other than Melbourne Triathlon Club. Well done, Melbourne. Yay! Great work on you, Melbourne. I'm sure the boss will be happy there. I'm not sure. I didn't know Sean was going to go, actually. But anyway, Sean will be happy with that one. And Michelle and Grace, Melbourne Tri Club, one of the big powerhouses, not just in Victoria, but around Australia. Great to see them as our series champion.
Yeah, I think it's important to remember that it all counts too. So everyone who is participating today contributed to that win for their club. And our clubs are really important. So get involved. Hopefully we can be taking the virtual race next time.
Yeah, and of course the Melbourne Tri Club, they were very, very confident. They went into the final race with a big lead. They started today with 783 points. They were that confident, Michelle, that they wore a yellow jersey. So how confident are they?
Yeah, look, you've got to be pretty confident if you're going to go out with that big call early.
That's it, of course. We love the Tri Clubs. Today we're focusing, of course, on Tri Victoria, to all of the Tri Clubs. 70% of the Tri Clubs, affiliated Tri Clubs race today. That is epic numbers. It's great to see that over the series alone, over 1,200, with today 1,400 people raced in the series. Well done, Victoria. You've gone through a very, very hard time, and it's awesome to see you out supporting Tri Victoria. Folks, we're going to wrap this up. Michelle, thanks so much.
Thanks, Peter. It's always great to see you. Great to see you,
Darwin. And just finally on Tri Australia, how good was it this week? The big news, of course, with Miles Stewart, the CEO of Tri Australia, got recognised for his wonderful achievements. And tell us very, very quickly, 15 seconds, what he achieved.
Yeah, well, it means we've got a voice on the World Triathlon stage, and we've never had that many people on the committee or executive board before. It's really important. It means that for all of our athletes, we've got a better opportunity to finish that are important to us down here in Oceania, and we don't get forgotten.
All right, thanks, Michelle Cooper, Presidente of Tri Australia in Darwin. You're going home to Brisbane soon. Say good day to Dave. Say good day to the SBR team, especially Dominic. Say hello to Dominic for me. I love it. Thanks, Grace, for your work today. Fantastic. Good luck in the, of course, Australian run and ride shoes. Thanks to Try Australia. Great work today, Grace. To see you in 2021.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, this has been Pete Murray. We've had an epic Saturday morning. So excited to see the racing. Thanks to Try Victoria. Once again, we do thank Swift, the official partner of Try Victoria for this race series, to SAS Cycling Club. Thank you so much. It's been so privileged to be part of this small event. It's turned into a massive occasion for Try Victoria and, of course, all the Try clubs. Thanks to Cam Worth, who was up on there this morning. Of course, Grace Steck as well, and Sean Foster, the best in the business, those three doing what they do best, and that's cycling, running, and, of course, swimming. As we said before, don't forget, folks, to Try Victoria. We've got a couple of big events coming up. December 10th, the Try Victoria Duathlon Mixed Relay down there at the Criterium track in Yarra. We've got on December 17th the Aquathlon, swim and run down there at Port Melbourne. And of course, the big news for Victoria in 2021, the 2xU Try Series kicks off on Sunday, January 17th at St Kilda. That will be absolutely huge. Also, don't forget, Try on the Ironman racing comes back to Victoria. We kickstart Oceania in Geelong on Sunday, the 21st of February. Ironman 70.3 Geelong. Of course, also Victoria, Ironman Melbourne later in the year. Well, this has been Pete Murray. It's been an absolute privilege. Good on you, Victoria. Congratulations. Thanks for having me on board. I really am going to make an effort. I'm going to talk to Try Victoria. I'd love to come down and be part of the first race of 2021, the 2xU Try Series, but that will be something for Try Victoria and I to work out. But thanks so much, guys, to all the riders out there today. Congratulations on your effort. If you're still riding, keep riding. Take as long as you need. See you soon. This is Pete Murray, over and out. Thanks to Try Victoria. Thanks to all of our guests, and well done, Try Victoria, for the amazing club race series over for 2020. 6 races done. Congratulations. Have a great weekend. We'll see you somewhere soon. Take care.